Afternoon session now, and we're going to look at variation of return of serve. Obviously that'll be different for everyone on the style of play you have, but we'll show you some basic variation of return of short serve. We've worked on this over the last day and a half, but we're going to look at touch return, flick return and push return. So Steve is going to serve short and Craig is going to return with either a touch, a flick or a push. Yes, you can catch it, Steve. Yeah. So serve. It's a touch return. So Craig, if you watch Craig, he'll try and come in with his racket in the same position for every return. So Steve's not getting a tell of what he's going to do. So he comes in. A big thing with this, Craig had to return with his forehand there. If you get ready for a forehand or a backhand return too early and the ball moves with a side spin, sometimes that's difficult. So Craig, when you're going in, how are you deciding which side of your racket you're going to use?
If Steve's playing with a little trace of side spin one way or the other, so at the moment he's coming around the ball this way, so the ball's spinning at me like this, it's much easier for me to have my racket forward on the backhand side to help deal with that side spin. If Steve was to change to a pendulum serve, then it's a little bit easier for me to have my forehand forward.
So you play against the spin?
Against the spin, yeah.
But do you keep your racket high at all times when you're returning serve?
Yeah, high and early timing as well.
Early timing,
looking for it.
Great. So just from looking at the opponent's serve, you've almost already registered what kind of shot you want to play?
Yeah, I think most people declare as well. Like you see if they're going to be going for a pendulum or reverse or.
So looking at that, you can then decide what sort of.
You can narrow your choices, for sure.
Okay, so we'll have a couple more look at the touch return. I want you to watch how Craig's coming into this ball and see when he goes on to the flick, whether you can see a difference in his approach to the ball. One more on the short, on the touch return. So really early timing Craig's taking this with, so he's able to just make the ball bounce twice on Steve's side of the table. Okay, so if we go on to the flick return now, and I want you to watch Craig's movement. It should be very similar, but the change is just as he comes into the ball. So this, instead of bouncing twice, Craig's aiming more out for the white line now, and that was a really, really deep return he made on that first one. Again, with all these, when someone's serving short at you, what you have to remember is that you have to recover back quickly. Even more so when you play the flick, because the ball's going to come back at you faster with topspin. So Craig's moving in, but his recovery is quick to get back out. So again, to me, there doesn't look a lot of difference when Craig's moving in. He's just changing whether he plays with a flick or a push. Again, right leg for a right-hander going under the table. So that's the basic flick return as well with both sides. I think when we're flicking with our backhand, this morning when I did it in multi-ball, we have to make sure we're using our elbow and our wrist to play that shot. It can't be we just play flat because we don't get any rotation. So the spin that Craig is putting on it is almost trying to take some of Steve's spin off the serve. Just use his forearm and his wrist on that one. The next return is a long push. Yeah, so Steve's going to serve short again. Craig's going to move in the same way, but this time, and you always wait back just in case they serve long. So this time, Craig's coming in. The deception between the short push and the long push and the touch is probably the hardest one to see. So if Craig comes in to return, and he's not sure whether he can keep it short, he may decide just to push that ball out and take his chances. Probably the worst thing to do is try and keep it short, and then it sits up in the air, and then it's an easy put away for your opponent. So even then, it's a short stroke. He's using the spin that's on Steve's ball and making in a game, Craig, how do you decide, because we're going to move on to this in the second drill, how do you decide how you're going to return?
I think I have my preference of what I want to do. I think for me personally, my game, I try to touch receive if I can. The rally starts slower, that suits me. I'm not an extremely quick player. If I feel like I can't do that, or it's popping up or it's drifting long, then I'll commit more to going on. So if they're playing a little bit deeper or with more spin that I'm struggling to control, then
What about your opponent? What about your opponent? Does it sometimes depend on who you're playing, how you return? So maybe tactically.
Yeah, if someone's got an obvious weakness, if I know that, you know, we will pick on Steve, shall we? So Steve's got a strong backhand, and he struggles a little bit more in the forehand. So I might make a point to go out long to his forehand to try and expose.
And I think some people as well. Some people, if they train a lot against backspin balls, are quite good when you push long, but maybe they're not as confident when you flick at them. So having 3 different ways of returning the ball is quite important.
And when you go and practice this, I mean, you don't necessarily have to practice all 3 as well. You know, you might just want to focus on 1 or 2. They're all difficult in their own right. So, pitch that at whatever you feel. You want to keep practicing the touch, or maybe you want to keep practicing the flick. Just keep deciding that yourself. Don't try to feel like you have to try and do everything all the time. Focusing on something that you want to master.
If you can master those 3 returns, fine. Then we'll just have a look at some other variations.
Do they play the point out?
Yeah. After the return,
We were just showing you in isolation. But
you don't have to catch a ball. You play the point out afterwards. But Craig will play some different variations. So if you serve short, just normal serve short, and Craig will show you how he uses some deception sometimes. So we've looked at the 3 basic returns: the flick, the touch, and the long push. But maybe sometimes he wants to play the ball a little bit differently, maybe with a little bit of side spin. So again, the use of the wrist, he comes in as though he's going to play to Steve's backhand, and at the last second just flicks across to his forehand, trying to give Steve as little time as possible to see what's going to happen. Obviously, the more risk you put into the return, the more chance to make an error. So you can make a safer return if you want, or you can go with a little bit more variation. Players at a high level these days are using backhand to return a lot. They're coming around to their forehand side. But there Craig came in and turned the ball out to the forehand, so not necessarily where the opponent would think the ball was going to go. So maybe when you get confident with a return serve, whether it's a push or a touch or a flick, you may want to play with some variation on that as well. There's certain players who will find variation difficult. Craig doesn't find variation difficult, so if you play against him with it, it comes back at you more difficult. So maybe against those players, easier to play a little bit straighter. The second part of the drill will be serve, return and free play. But what we're going to actually do is come around to the tables and just ask you why you're serving to a particular part of the table. Maybe think about tactical reasons. Maybe my opponent's not very good when I bring them in there and then play back deep. Or maybe they're not very good when I serve long at them. Don't forget that long serves are still important as well, because the benefit of a long serve over a short serve is I pretty much know I'm going to get a long ball back. When we serve short there, Craig could decide to play short, he could flick, or he could dig long. So he had more choice when Steve was serving short. So in that free play, think about how you're playing against your opponent. Think where you're winning points and try and focus in on that to try and win.
On that last one, we want to make sure that exercise forward just to competitive. So there'll be one person serving the whole time for 7 minutes, like Paul said, but you'll be recording all the points you win as just a server. So you have a tally of maybe you've won 30 points in 7 minutes. So the receiver's not counting their points, and then after that you're trying to beat your partner's score. At the end we come together and maybe give each other a little bit of advice where you felt your opponent was weaker or you were winning a lot of points. So we're making it a little bit competitive, but again that tactical kind of awareness around it as well. So we'll be competitive, you'd start racking up your points. So you'd be serving the whole time, short or long, like Paul said, 3 points, no exercise to remember. But just remember if you won the points, as a server, how many points you won. And your opponent's got to try and, your partner's got to try and beat that for the next 7 or 8 minutes. Does that make sense?
Can I just ask one thing? I tend to stick to the same serve all the time, people soon get to know, you can move around a little bit, there's a bit of variation. What do you do to develop a new serve? Do you just go off and practice on your own?
The thing is, you don't need lots of different serves. It's good, like I can only make the ball bend one way with any quality really, but Craig can make the ball go 2 different ways. You don't need a lot of serves. You need a serve that suits your style, the ball comes back the way you like it. But just try and get there so you can vary spin, speed and placement with a serve. So I don't think you need lots of serves, but you definitely need something that your opponent doesn't know where the ball's going to go. And maybe you can change from short to long. And if you watch...
Well, tomorrow we've got a designated serving section, so we'll be looking at creating some different variations, so that'll probably be a good time.
the big thing with it is your opponent doesn't know what's coming.
Yeah,
So if you start for a long fast serve there and you start for a short serve there, you soon give signals away to your opponent.
Okay.